PCG. Since some of you guys missed the grafting workshop yesterday, I'll do a quick demonstration today to show you how easy it can be done. So what I use is actually a grafting tool that I bought off of Amazon, and the benefit of this tool is that it cuts the joints on your scion and rootstock to match perfectly. And the only requirement is that your cutting needs to be of the same diameter as your the rootstock that you're trying to graft onto. So this is the grafting tool, and I'm going to show you real quick how easy it is to cut matching joints. So basically you just put it under the blade and press. And what you get is these two matching joints that you can fit together really snugly, like so. But in order to have perfect matching joints, you need to have both. Let's say this is your cutting, and this is the rootstock. They need to be of the same diameter. Okay, and a few other things that you need to have in order to graft are this is a pruning sealer. Basically, when you're done grafting and you've wrapped your graft point with this plastic film, what I use this for is to seal both ends of the graft so that moisture doesn't get into this part, and which could potentially rot your graft. Like I said before, this grafting tool can be purchased off of Amazon. It comes as a kit, which includes the tool itself, a couple of, I think at least 3 replacement blades, a roll of plastic film, which is essentially, it clings just like your saran wrap, but being on a roll, you can easily wrap it around your graft joint. You wrap enough that it keeps the joint sturdy. So what I do is just go round and round until it feels really secure. Like that. And then I'll just do a little slack, give it a little slack, and use that to tie off the graft. Kind of just twist it around a little bit to make kind of a plastic string. And knot it. Pull it on a little bit to get it really tight, and then one more knot. And then I just use my knife or scissor to cut off the excess plastic. Like that. So right now you can feel that, I can feel like it's pretty secure, so it won't bend in the wind. And now, at this point, I would apply a bit of the pruning seal to both ends of the wrap. A little bit on top, go all the way around. And the other end. Just like that. And that's your graft. And the last step to do is just to label put a label onto your graft, because if you do a lot on the same tree, it'll get very confusing. And I've done that last year where I just lost track of what I grafted and which one it took. So good idea is to buy some of these label tags that you can place onto the grafts. Okay, so now I'll show you how to actually do it on my tree. This is a Golden Delicious that I've had, well, it's been growing for about 8 or 9 years already, and so far I have about 4 other varieties grafted onto it that have been successful, and this season I'm going to add a few more. I just finished adding or grafting this one here, which is the Gala, a Brayburn from Diane, and on this branch here I want to put the Jonah Gold. Yes, this is a Jonah Gold that I want to add to graft onto this point. I've already made the cuts on the scion and the branch to match exactly the diameter before I use the tool. So as you can see, it's about the same size. So on the scion, I want to make a cut where it creates a male junction, and on the rootstock, I want to create the female junction. So you have to orient your cutter in such a way that you create those type of joints. So on this one, I want to cut it this way. Okay, so this is the female junction. Get this part out. And on the scion, you want to create the corresponding male junction that will fit into there. Like so. Okay, once we have the matching joints cut, you can just get them in together. Make sure they're nice and snug. And with the grafting tape or grafting film, just start wrapping around the graft point until it feels pretty sturdy. And as you wrap around with the film, kind of stretch it a little bit to get a really a tight wrap. And wrap it around, enough times that you kind of wiggle or tug on it. It feels really sturdy. And I think it's a good idea to wrap about 2 inches wide, so that when you apply the pruning seal, there's a little bit of space in between. Okay, and once you feel like the wrap is good, give a little slack to the tape and use it to tie down the wrap itself onto the branch. And wiggle a little bit to make it really tight. And there. Just cut off the excess tie. Now we're ready for the printing seal. Apply a little bit on to the top. And a little bit to the bottom of the wrap. This is so that you create it's a waterproof seal, so that rain and moisture doesn't get into it, and which could potentially damage and rot your graph. Okay, that looks good. Next thing to do is just put a label onto your graph so that you know what it is. And I think this scion is a little bit too long, so what I'm going to do is cut a part of it off and also seal the end of it. Just like that. We'll put a little bit of printing seal on to the cut surface. Okay, so there you go. That's basically how I normally graft with the grafting tool. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. You could pretty much do a graph in a matter of a few minutes.